Hey, this is Cami Knight, founder of A Higher Love. I'm a healing coach who helps men and women heal from their past experiences and belief patterns through my online group coaching and also one-on-one coaching. Log on to my website to learn more. You can also follow me on all of my social media handles, which is titled Cami Loves. Now let's dive in. Okay, so we are all set. I want to make the screen a little bit wider. But we're going to work with what we got. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. We're going to do a series on your relationship with food is your own reflection. Your relationship with food is your own reflection. So I want to first of all thank you guys for tuning in to my podcast. We're going to be on this until I have no more content to share about your relationship with food being your own reflection. So we're going to break this down, and I'm going to start by sharing with you my relationship with food as a child. Now, I dive further into this in my mini course, where I talk about the title of the mini course is called "Why Can't I Lose the Weight?" And it really dives further into healing your relationship with food. But on today, I'm specifically going to be talking to you about my relationship as a child with food. And how, as a kid, my relationship was with myself. So, once again, my relationship with food was a correlation with the relationship that I had with myself as a kid. And the relationship that I had with myself as a kid generally was just not good. I did not like myself. I did not think that I was enough. And the main thing that I remember feeling was not enough. And that was the most emptiest feeling to have. And I felt very, very sad on the inside. Many people did not know this because at the heart of me, I was a very jovial child. But in my quiet time, and oftentimes what I carried in my heart was this deep sadness. And I did not feel enough. I didn't feel smart enough. I didn't feel pretty enough. I didn't feel physically enough. I felt unseen. And so that was just not a good feeling. And it really was actually me believing the stories and the lies that were either told to me that I wasn't enough, or believing the stories and the lies that I saw through messages around me, through social media, through many different experiences that I had as a child, that I came up with the agreement and said, okay, well, because this happened, or because they said this to me, then I must not be enough. And so this is a story that I told myself. And what I didn't recognize as a kid growing up, I would say this happened right around pre-adolescent years, when I recognized how I did a lot of snacking. But I didn't correlate the two, that it was something that I went to numb myself. So that's where I started my unhealthy relationship with food, when I started believing the lies, believing these belief patterns that was going on within my mind, and a way for me to feel better that I wasn't aware of at the time, and really how I disconnected from that world, was coddling myself through food. And so that was where the foundation of my relationship with food began. And so, like I said, the stories I believed about myself and how I numbed myself with food, that was the foundation that I built upon. And as I grew further and older into my late teens and more into my young adulthood, I recognized that I was starting to feel unhealthy. I was starting to feel unhealthy. And as I was starting to feel unhealthy, I was recognizing that something wasn't right. Something wasn't right, but I didn't quite yet make the connection. So on my next video, I will be sharing with you how that relationship that I was sharing with you guys, how in my late teens and young adulthood, I knew that the relationship that I was having, I didn't quite correlate it that it was the relationship with food. And I didn't quite correlate that it was the relationship that I had going on with myself. I just knew around that time that I felt the friction within myself. I felt the self-hatred even more within myself. I felt that, and I knew that something had to shift and something had to change as I became older, because I knew I could no longer operate that way. Yet and still, there was a part of me that was still numb. So I didn't quite make that connection. And in my next video and my next podcast, what I'll be sharing with you is how I had my relationship that I had as a child with food, how it affected me in my young adulthood. And I'm going to be sharing with you how I broke away from that relationship and how I began building this newer foundation. The foundation that I built upon, it just was not healthy, and the foundation that I was creating in my adulthood was a new foundation, a new correlation that I was building with myself. So that's all I have to share with you on today. If you have any questions, you write to me. Let me know, write in the comments. Let me know, how was your relationship with food as a kid? And because of that relationship that you had as a kid, how has it affected how you show up in your everyday life as an adult? Because believe it or not, it is all connected. It is all connected. So if you believe someone can, learn or can benefit from this video, go ahead and click like, comment, share, subscribe. And that's so cute. Okay, so that's all I have for today. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Bye. And I would like to help you. Click the link below to learn how you can heal.